SGC here, the hat's finally back. So this time it's a first impression for Mob City, created by Frank Darabont for TNT. It is based on the real-life accounts of the LAPD and gangsters in 1940s Los Angeles, as chronicled in the book LA Noir, The Struggle for the Soul of America's Most Seductive City by Jon Bernthal. So the cast, first off, is Jon Bernthal, who was Shane in The Walking Dead from AMC, plays Detective Joe Teague, and then you got Milo Ventimiglia as Ned Starks, who is, you know, the dude from Heroes. And also Neal McDonough, Alexa Davalos, Jeffrey DeMunn as Hale Morrison, who plays Dale in The Walking Dead as well. Robert Knepper as Sid Rothman, Jeremy Luke as Mickey Cohen, and Gregory Itzin as Fletcher Bowen, Edward Burns as Bugsy Siegel. So for the first episode, this was a pretty standard episode. We got a guest star of Simon Pegg. That was good fun stuff, and it's aesthetically looks great. Lines are carried fine, and I really like how they played out with the first episode. As build up Joe as a detective, he had to deal with Simon Pegg and the case, and then how the episode ended was a twist for sure. And just to see how the world works here, and the Mickey Cohen's always mentioned, and it was an intriguing first episode as not everything was shown and not everyone was shown as well. So that was an interesting way of a narrative and a way to start up a new series. And just to see how Joe Teague works as a cop is interesting as well, as it leads up to a second episode where the world is bigger now, as we get to see Fletcher Bowen, Bugsy Siegel, and Mickey Cohen himself, and also the love interest Jasmine Fontaine. And also another twist at the end concerning the relationship between Joe and Jasmine was an interesting intrigue for sure, because it'll be just lining up for you for episode 3 as to what's really happening. And yeah, so aesthetically this is awesome. It's a period piece. Love this period as well. I realize I enjoy the narrative voice of Joe Bernthal, and he reminds me of Rick from The Walking Dead, and I sort of wish that Shane never died, or that his performance from here carried over was actually shown in The Walking Dead, because I find him here much more enjoyable. Maybe it's just the way that his character was written, but anyway. The biggest problem I have for this series, in fact, is actually Jeremy Luke does not make a convincing Mickey Cohen whatsoever. Especially when you got someone that played Mickey Cohen in Gangster Squad most recently by Sean Penn. That's totally different style of, like, it just doesn't, I can't imagine that Jeremy Luke, his stature, his looks, his delivery becomes the infamous Mickey Cohen. But I guess that's just another problem that will be addressed maybe, and then he gets more lines, or maybe it'll be changed or whatever. Edward Burns, on the other hand, I think they should have switched roles, because I feel that Edward Burns can totally pull off a Mickey Cohen look and vibe for sure. But anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed Mob City, Gangster Squad vibe, but in a TV series, but even better, I would say. Mob City, check it out if you have the time. And yeah, I mean, support Frank Darabont for sure, because I mean, sucks that he was kicked off Walking Dead, because Walking Dead Season 1 was, the former half was so much better than the latter half, and especially where it's going now, I would really have hoped that Frank stayed behind. I am interested as to where it's gonna go, and it's a short season, so therefore, if you haven't watched it, you can totally catch up for sure, because it just premiered this month, and I think it's only 6 episodes that is listed. So that's not a lot. So the last episode, which is interesting as it airs 2 episodes a day, so catch up for sure. Episode 4, as of this recording, has already been released. And that's it for this first impression for Mob City episode 1 and 2.